What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's Friday afternoon. We're waiting to see who practices today for the Cowboys and see if we're going to be in any better shape or not. But we'll see where we go with that. Right now, we've got a big question here because now that we know that Dak Prescott's leg is literally the hamstring is ripped off the bone, some of it, we don't know if it's all of it or not. We don't know if this is as severe as what happened to Tyron Smith, but even just going on IR, you have to figure that this is going to be more than just 4 weeks. It was, I believe, about 9 weeks, 10 weeks before Tyron Smith came back on the field. So the big question is, should Dak Prescott shut it down for the year? If we're looking at this, here's my own personal thoughts right now. I'm getting ready for the trip, so I'm getting my Zoomcaster and everything hooked up and make sure I've got all my wires and things, because we're going to try and do something a little bit different than we usually do. We're going to try to Zoom call with my cell phone for the members chat, maybe from one of the sports bars. Maybe we'll go to like Playmakers or Mike Fisher's place or something like that. We'll try and do something a little different, so that way you guys will have a taste of the atmosphere, at least in Dallas, and make it like a an opportunity for you guys to sound off. Be that as it may, Dak says he wants to play after the injury. He wants to get back out on the field. And this is an article that just came out. There's plenty of uncertainty regarding Dak Prescott's status moving forward in 24 because of the hamstring issue. But Dallas head coach Mike McCarthy told reporters, "I know he wants to keep playing." McCarthy explained Thursday that the quarterback is going through the early steps towards a hopeful recovery. The comments come after Jane Slater of the NFL Network reporting on Wednesday that the initial diagnosis is a partial alluvion of his hamstring tendon, which is partially torn off the bone. Slater explained that usually requires a lengthy recovery period, although he is seeking other options. So what we're talking about here, and this is week 10, there's only 8 more weeks left to go. 8 weeks. Okay, so if he gets placed in IR, that's going to be 4 games more. He hasn't been placed on yet, so if he does get placed in IR, this week's game doesn't count unless they put him on today. So at most, you would have 4 games left. Now, here's the way to look at it is, depending on what the team's doing. Is the team, of course, out of it? If they're out of it, then you shut it down. There's no point in putting him out there just right off this year. He got a big fat check and everything else, and try and protect him for the future. Unfortunately, this is the part of football that you don't like, is when you get older, you end up getting more injuries. And Dak has taken a lot of hits, much like Tony Romo did. The question becomes is, how do you keep him on the field? And this is the inflection point where the Cowboys have to realize, whether you like it or not, the Cowboys are on the hook for $231 million. The Cowboys are on the hook for $231 million. And the thing that you have to look at this is, we have to maximize what we're going to get out of this money. And by doing that, that means you're going to need to do like the Cowboys did late in Tony Romo's career, was invest in the offensive line. They got Tyron Smith. They got Travis Frederick. They ended up getting Zach Martin in the draft. And you saw the Cowboys 12-4 and a catch, no catch away from being in the NFC Championship game. And that offensive line was really good for the next few years. I would say 2016 was the pinnacle of it. After that, you started to see Tyron Smith wear down. You ended up losing Travis Frederick and so on. But to start Dak Prescott's career, having those guys was key. The other thing you can do to prolong what you have or to get the most out of your investment is investing in your offensive line. Excuse me, your running back. A good running game is going to make you that much better. The funny thing, I'm going to look here. NFL passing stats. Because I don't think people realize that the Dallas Cowboys, as far as passing-wise, they're passing more than anybody else. Or they have more yards than anybody else passing. Let's see if this is the teams. Passing, Dak Prescott has 1,900 yards, 11 TDs, 8 interceptions. Not outstanding numbers, but he's got a 64.7% completion percentage. Not incredible, but not the worst out there. Considering that you're not able to use play action, they're putting the ball in the air a lot. They've got Dak has 286 passes, and he's less games than, say, Seattle's got more games, of course. They've got 9 games. Dak has only got 8, well, really 7.5. So you start looking at this and seeing how many yards the Cowboys are getting because they can't run the football. When you start thinking about somebody like, let's say, yardage-wise, you start thinking about Jared Goff, who's played in 8 games, 1,800 yards, and they're adding on to that, 1,500 yards running. That offense is doing really great. And you think, well, heck, Jared Goff is beating the hell out of Dak Prescott. It's because he's got a balanced offense. Dak is throwing for more yards per game, but we're not getting anything from the running game. So if we're looking at this from the standpoint of, like I said, whether you like it or not, the Cowboys need to protect their investment. And that thing to do is you're going to have to fix the offensive line, and you need to get a running game going forward. For me, I think at this point, if you're telling me that he's got to go on IR, as bad as this season has been, knowing that we only have 9 games left, and one of those being in just a couple of days, at best, if he were able to make a miraculous recovery, you're talking about maybe 3 games, and more than likely it'll be like less than that. So this is, to me, yeah, I want to get out there and I want to play. Lord knows I tore my ACL and I want to get out there and play. But the reality is the season is probably done for Dak. Not what you wanted to see. Definitely not what you wanted to see, but I think that's the way it's going to be. All righty, good people, I'm going to continue getting my stuff together. Got to go do some work this evening, and then we'll be live streaming the game tonight, and I hope you guys tune in and watch us and join us, and we'll see you then. Peace out.